Creighton head coach Ed Service. Players to my right are Harrison Crawford and Raleigh Lacey. Coach, we'd ask you to begin with an opening statement.
Well, just, congratulations, St. John's. They played excellent in many phases tonight. Pitcher did a heck of a job. Dominated the game with the exception of one inning. So, they were the much better team tonight.
Open the floor to questions. Ask you to direct them first to the student athletes. John?
Ronnie, you've had such a great season. What kept you from clicking on all cylinders tonight?
I'm not really sure as of now. I've kind of still been going over it a lot in my head, but from the quick things I can list off for you is I was rushing a little bit, and I didn't keep my normal composure, so I think kind of limited me from throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, which is usually key to our team success, and I think that's what you can attribute it to, a little bit of rushing and not getting the ball where I wanted it to be.
Harrison, obviously you've faced McCormick twice now. Was he better this time than the last time, or is there a way to quantify just how good he is?
I mean, he's the pitcher of the year for our conference for a reason. He's a very good pitcher. Just his ability, he has a big-time slider that he's able to throw for a strike on command whenever he wanted. I mean, I saw it 3-2. I mean, it doesn't matter what the count is, but he's a good pitcher. You just can't give away at-bats and whatnot, but either way, they were both great performances by him. We just have to find a way to scratch and claw some runs across.
Harrison, you're one of the few guys that's had success against him in the two games you guys have played now. I guess what is the key to kind of getting to him a little bit, if there is any?
Just got to be aggressive. I think that was our biggest problem offensively today. We were really timid. And if he throws you a fastball, I mean, that's something you got to jump on, because he's going to come with you with the slider. That's his best pitch by far. So his fastball is very hittable, but if you don't swing at it and you get behind the count, there's not much of a chance with a guy like that.
Raleigh, their aggressiveness seemed to put a lot of pressure on you and your defense, and it looked like it kept you from ever really getting comfortable. Is that kind of fair to say?
Yeah, they got some nice little credit to them, got some ground ball hits in the first inning, and, they didn't go to our infielders, obviously. They snuck through, and, I think I held myself good there, but I let it get to me a little bit, and their aggressiveness is kind of what we based our game plan off of, so we can use it to our advantage if we throw first pitch strikes like I was intending, and I didn't do that as well as I did last time, and they took advantage of me getting behind in the count and hunting a fastball. So their aggressiveness was definitely there, positive tonight for them, but it was also what we were looking to attack, and I just didn't do it the way I intended to.
They said a couple of their hitters said one of the things they were trying to do was lay off your slider. I mean, did you sense that out there?
Well, I really didn't throw it for a strike too often like I wanted to, so I didn't really get that sense too much. But, I figured that was probably something that they would do. But, good game plan for them, I guess. But we just didn't execute. I didn't execute mine, so that's what I'd attribute it to.
Two more questions for the student athletes.
Yes, Harrison, obviously you had a chance to maybe get something going in that second inning, and it turned out to be you did get a run out of it, but did that take something out of you guys?
We did get the run, so I mean, if we got no runs out of that inning, it would have been a big blow. The fact we got one run out of it, I mean, it kept us going. It definitely could have been a little bigger of an inning. It was just a miscue. Those things can't happen. We can't get caught up in the moment. So, but it wasn't as big of a deal. We should have been able to scratch across a couple other runs throughout a couple other innings too. So,
I guess talk a little bit about obviously the task ahead of you.
Excuse me.
Talk a little bit about the task ahead of you, having to play tomorrow, and then if you do win that game, having to beat those guys.
It's it's been a long season, and you can't just get down when you take a loss, and you gotta find a way to bounce back. That's what we do as a team. We've grown as a family, and we play for one another. We got each other's back through everything. So one loss like this, we gotta find a way and use it to our advantage. We gotta play with that chip on our shoulder now, knowing that one more loss and our season's over. So I think we'll be able to bounce back very well against Seton Hall, and I'm excited. I mean, this is like a rebirth almost.
One final question, Matt? Nothing? Piv? All right. Thank you, student athletes, for joining us. We'll ask you, Coach, to stick around for a few moments.
Okay.
You guys are good. Take off.
Thank you.
Enough room there?
Please direct your questions now to head coach Ed Service.
Once McCormick kind of settled in there, he was, working quick, had a good rhythm, I guess. What did you see out of maybe your hitter's approach that he was able to take advantage of, or they weren't able to take advantage of from him?
Yeah, well, he's good. He obviously he feels comfortable in this ballpark. With his other outing that he had about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, and most good pitchers, they'll give you an opportunity early, and if you don't take advantage of it, then you're in for a long night. And we had our opportunities early. We didn't take advantage of it, and he dominated from there on out. So that's not uncommon. You see a lot of good pitchers do that.
Do you think their aggressiveness kind of maybe shook Raleigh a little bit?
Well, they did a good job, no doubt about it. But, the poise of the entire team was way off tonight. You could see in many things that took place, starting with the swing and miss in the first inning, blocked by our catcher. And he gets distracted by the runner at second base instead of taking the out at first base. And from there on out, it kind of just snowballed. So, I don't put too much on Raleigh. I put a lot more on the team as a whole was just out of sync. And they were too geeked up tonight. And that's disappointing because we played in a lot of environments like this.
Did you sense they were geeked up?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I did everything in my power to kind of slow them down. If there was a 5 or 10 signs out there, and we don't have enough time to go through them all, that were indicators to me that the game was really sped up for us tonight, and we weren't able to slow it down.
This isn't the first time you've been in this position, having to, come through the losers bracket to win a championship before. I guess what are the keys to success tomorrow and going forward, I guess?
Well, we did it in 11, and we had the same scenario in 2011. We lost the second game of the tournament 10-3. We didn't play particularly well. And, in order for us to, first of all, we're just going to worry about tomorrow. We're not going to get caught up in what we need to do the rest of the weekend. But, we're going to have to get some pitching performances out of guys who probably haven't done as much this year. So 2 or 3 guys going to have to surprise us here starting tomorrow if we want this thing to continue. That's what happened in 11. We got 2 or 3 pitching performances out of guys that had not done much in the regular season.
You going with Regala tomorrow?
Yes, he'll start.
As you said, when you have an opportunity against a guy like McCormick, you got to make the most of it. You obviously didn't make the most of it in that second inning. How, in your mind, how big was that?
Well, there are mistakes on a baseball field that you can kind of tolerate from time to time, but when we made the mistake in the second inning, it just showed me that this thing was racing for the guys. This game was racing, and it's the second inning now, and we're trying everything in our power to slow it down for them. But maybe we don't score again that inning. I'm not sure, but how the inning ended was just that was, I think, tough for the whole team to kind of swallow.
I guess if you asked Brett what happened on that?
No, I did not.
Take 2 more questions.
I guess, obviously, Keith has had a couple of rough ones the last couple times out. What's he got to do tomorrow to kind of get himself back on the beam?
Well, first of all, his teammates have to, just slow this process down a little bit. We have to learn from what we did tonight. And then throw strikes. You know, when Keith throws strikes, he's pretty successful. So, you know, Seton Hall has seen him. It was just recent when they saw him. You know, they played a very good, clean game today, so they're coming in feeling pretty good about themselves. And, you know, we've got a few hours here to recover and try to shake this off and get going. So I'm interested to see when the team comes back tomorrow to the locker room, you know, where they're at. And because, you know what, Seton Hall's not feeling sorry for us. So if we feel sorry for ourselves because we didn't play well tonight, it's not going to be a good day tomorrow.
Take one final question.
Coach, most of the games you've had against Seton Hall have been battles back and forth. They really haven't been, you know, one side all the way. How do you get your guys to turn around this quickly and prepare for what has been so far tough matches against Seton Hall?
Well, we've done a pretty good job in bouncing back. This isn't the first tough loss we've had this year. We've had several of these, and they've been pretty good. They're hurting right now because they know they let an opportunity slip away, and they know they didn't play very well, and that's the most disappointing thing. If you know, if we play really well, St. John's might still have beaten us tonight, but we'll never know because we didn't play very well. But they've been pretty good about it. You know, pretty resilient group. I'm okay that they're hurting right now because if they weren't, then they're not invested. So it's okay that they're struggling right now. We've got some time. If we played a noon game tomorrow, I'd probably be a little bit more worried. But, you know, they'll get up, they'll have breakfast tomorrow. We'll have a chance to visit with them a little bit before the game. We'll have some time to recover from this. We'll be all right.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Creighton plays Seton Hall in an elimination game at 3:30 tomorrow.